The conference room is silent, except for the hum of the projector fan and the sharp tap of a pen against porcelain. You are sitting in the third row, left side. Your chest feels tight, not because you have nothing to say, but because you know that if you speak now, the eyes will slide over you like water off glass. You rehearsed this point last night. You wrote it down on your phone. It is solid, it matters. But the air in the room is heavy with other voices, louder voices, faster voices. You feel the weight of invisibility pressing against your ribs. It is a specific kind of suffocation. You are present, yet you do not exist in the narrative being built around you. Your hands rest on the table, cold and still. You wait for permission that will never come. You shrink back into the chair, letting the moment pass, telling yourself it does not matter, telling yourself to focus on the work later, in private, when no one is watching. But the shame lingers. It sticks to you like dust in a sunbeam. This silence you feel is not peace, it is terror. You are afraid that if you remain quiet for too long, you will cease to be real. You believe your value is tied to your visibility, to the applause of the room, to the acknowledgement of your peers. When they do not see you, you interpret it as a verdict on your worth. This is the lie we all swallow whole. The fear is not that you are alone, the fear is that you are unloved, that you are rejected, that you are nothing without an audience. Stoicism does not ask you to become popular. It asks you to stop needing permission to be yourself. The pain you feel in that room comes from a single error in judgment, believing that their silence means your absence matters more than your presence does. Marcus Aurelius did not write his meditations while sitting in a quiet garden with a cup of tea. He wrote them on campaign, surrounded by the smell of unwashed bodies and the constant threat of barbarian raids. He was exhausted. He was stressed. He had enemies plotting against him every day. Yet he carved out silence within the chaos. Why? Because he understood that character is not built in the spotlight. It is forged in the dark, when no one is watching to reward you for being good. You think you need their attention to validate your integrity. You are wrong. Integrity is what remains when no one claps. Marcus knew that the noise of the world was temporary and trivial compared to the permanence of his own mind. He did not seek solitude to hide, he sought it to remember who he was when the masks were off. You do not need them to see you to be substantial. You are substantial because you choose to stand firm, even when ignored. Epictetus was a slave before he was a philosopher. He owned nothing but his mind and his freedom. He taught that distress comes from our opinions about events, not the events themselves. The event is this: people do not look at you. They do not ask for your input. That is the fact. It is neutral, like rain falling outside. But your opinion says they are ignoring you because you are weak or unworthy. That opinion is the violence. You are inflicting pain on yourself based on a story that isn't true. There is no evidence in their behavior that reflects your value. Their blindness is about their own noise, their own need to dominate, their own fear of being wrong. It has nothing to do with you. To accept this is not passive, it is radical. It cuts the cord between your self-worth and their attention span. You can sit in that room and be silent without being small. Silence can be a shield, or it can be a weapon, depending on what holds it. If you hold it with fear, it crushes you. If you hold it with clarity, it protects you. Seneca wrote letters to friends who were troubled by their circumstances, reminding them that time alone reveals character. He did not view solitude as isolation to be feared, but as essential practice for maintaining integrity. You have been trying to fill the void of your invisibility with noise, internal noise, anxiety, self-recrimination. But what if you stopped fighting the silence? What if you let it settle around you like snow? In that stillness, you might find something dangerous, a voice that does not care about approval, a voice that knows exactly what needs to be done, regardless of who hears it. This is the inner citadel. It is not a place where you retreat to hide from the world. It is a fortress you build so the world cannot break you. When you stop seeking validation in that room, you become dangerous. Not because you are loud, but because you are unshakable. You realize that their failure to see you is their loss, not yours. The turn is simple, though it feels impossible. You do not need to be seen to be significant. The desire for recognition is a leash. Cut it. Every time you feel the urge to perform, to shout, to force your way into the conversation out of desperation, pause. Feel the heat in your cheeks. Acknowledge the fear. Then choose stillness. Not the stillness of defeat, but the stillness of a rock in a river. The water rushes around it, chaotic and loud, but the rock remains. It does not argue with the current. It simply is. This is amor fati. Love your fate, including the fate of being ignored. Use that silence to sharpen your mind. Use it to observe, to understand the dynamics at play without participating in the drama. You are not a victim of their oversight. You are a master of your own attention. You will walk out of those meetings differently now. Not because they have changed, but because you have withdrawn your energy from the game of approval. You will feel lighter. The tightness in your chest will dissolve into cold air. You will realize that you were never invisible. You were just looking for eyes that were too blind to see what mattered. There is power in being unseen by those who do not matter. There is peace in refusing to perform for an audience that does not deserve the play. The room was always empty of truth, even when it was full of people. You are full. That is enough. The projector fan continues its low hum. The meeting ends. Chairs scrape against the floor. People stand up, brushing imaginary lint from their suits, talking over each other in a blur of movement and sound. No one looks at you as they leave. No one asks if you are okay. You do not wait for them to notice you. You pack your bag slowly, deliberately. The silence is no longer heavy. It is clean. It belongs to you now. You stand up. Your steps are firm on the carpet. You walk out of the room alone, and for the first time in years, you feel completely present.